Hello, everybody, and welcome to the inaugural show of FM 26. This is James. It's Old Boys Gaming, and we are live and just waiting on Football Manager to load up, guys. Um, I do apologise, and yeah, this is where we are going to be bringing FM 26 to life, and we're just going in and introduce you to the team as it stands. I've got a brew on the go. Um, so cheers to you guys. As we're sorry, I should have had this loaded up beforehand. I was just in a bit of a mad rush to get this started. So yeah, as we are about to go into this and get this going, hopefully it will load up in a second and get everybody up to date with the new team, the seventh tier of the English football pyramid, the Yorkshire Warriors, all custom created, the club badge. It's a brand new team, so there's no history with the club whatsoever. And as we uh, go through the English football pyramids to try and get from the lower leagues all the way up to top tier English football, uh, Premier League and Champions League glory is what awaits. So, yeah, I again apologies for the delay on my football manager taking a while to load up. It's a little bit slow, so we'll have a little slurp of tea as we get ready to launch and get ready to go. So the premise of this is it's a brand new team. We've got 2.5 million in the club coffers, and here we go. And they uh, a reasonable transfer budget of 250,000. So I know people were saying, well, that's a lot of money for a tier 17. It is, but we have got no players in the squad whatsoever. Um, Yorkshire Warriors. I will get better at this, guys. I do apologise. Um, so as you can see, it says 10 minutes worth of playtime, but that's literally as I made sure that the team was set up and ready to go. And I just left it on for a couple of minutes while I was while I was getting it ready to go and ready to rock and roll. So hopefully, there we go. As it's loading in now. So I will next stream. I will get this better, and the stream will be the game will be loaded and will be in. As you can see, I'm on the first set of emails. Nothing done. Um, no starter, nothing to start with, and yeah. So look, if you have a look, here we are, Yorkshire Warriors in the Northern Premier League Premier Division, with the likes of Ashton United, Bamber Bridge, Cleethorpes, Hyde United, Ilkeston Town, Whitby Town, Workington. So yeah, these are going to be um, the teams who we are going to be playing against. And if I go to our squad and look at the players, for instance, now these players I can't get rid of. That they are literally embedded into the game. They're non-existent players. These guys are probably never going to play for us, and they will disappear as we make some signings. So if I there we go, that's a better view. So if we look through, yeah, these guys all just youngsters, no contracts, no nothing, and these players will disappear when we get going and we bring players in. So we have a friendly in 2 days. Whether or not we get any players in within the next 2 days, so these guys could all play friendlies for us. So I suppose, and if we look at our club and we look at the club overview here, excuse me, as you can see, 2.6 million is actually what we've got. 35,000 in the wage bank, and the transfers, if we click up here and go to, where is it? There we are. So 250,000 in the transfer budget, 35,000 in wage, and we do have 20,000 for scouting availability. So that is what we are looking at. And as we move forward, we will be making some signings and getting through the transfer window. The stadium, Valhalla, obviously Yorkshire Warriors, the club badge is a Viking. And as you can see, here's our lovely kits. We're a semi-professional team. I put us, but we were founded in 2020. Um, just to get us going. I didn't want to put it down as that we were brand newly founded and we automatically went into the seventh tier. So I put down that we were founded in 2020. Although if you actually look at the club history, well, let me see club site where that one is. Um, look at the board. We'll have a quick look at the board. So our owner is a lovely lady called Sarah. Sarah Meller is our owner. That is actually my wife in real life, guys. And yeah, she's our owner. Um, in control of the finances and making sure that we get this club running. If we look at the facilities now of the club, I've put as reasonable, average training facilities, average use facilities. The stadium's immaculate because I've put down that we've just literally moved into our new stadium. Um, if we have a look at that, we are in a 5,000 all-seater stadium, known as Valhalla in the city of Pontefract, which is my hometown. No rent. The ground is owned by the club. I put under soil heating down because I didn't really want the games to be abandoned or postponed when we get into the sort of winter time. Um, we've got no adequate academy coaching, average youth recruitment, and the club vision for the club is they want us to reach the Northern Premier League, Premier Division playoffs, be competitive in the English FA Cup, and be competitive in the Isuzu FA Trophy, which is kind of like the non-league version of the League Cup. Um, strive to make progress on and off the pitch, and no additional objectives. The supporters, they want us to reach the playoffs minimum as well. So we will get straight into it and let's see if we can get, I think the most important thing really is if you look at the staff, we have in the coaching team, we have a manager and we have an assistant manager. Now the game automatically put an assistant manager in there. We'll be looking to replace our assistant manager and try and bring somebody in. We've got no head of youth development, no goal, no coaches, no performance analysis, no scouts, no director of football, no physios, no head physio. So that I think is the what we really need to concentrate on first. So let's do some staff, find out what we've got. Let's get some staff in, and once we get some staff in, we will be able to then start scouting players and bringing some players in so we can um, start moving forward. So let's have a look. Staff databases. Where are we? Staff database. There we go. So let's have a look. What we need is coaching, assistant manager. Because, like I say, I want to get a new assistant manager in as soon as possible. Now I have it set like this as my view, and I would ideally like some decent assistant manager. So I suppose the best one is Brian Barrows. Let's have a look at him. Okay, so he's outstanding at working with youngsters. He's very good adaptability, good authority, motivating, and he's average, judging play ability and play potential. So he likes to play a 4-2-4 or a 5-3-2. Control possession. He's got his Continental Pro license, so we can maybe look at bringing him in. We'll have a look at some others. We won't just jump down straight down there. The best we've also got here Richard Procus. Um, let's have a look. Assistant manager. Average competent, plays a 4-4-2 and a 4-1-4-1. DM. Now, I haven't set the tactics yet, but I do have a tactic in mind. It's a tactic I've used before, and it may be one that I use. But to begin with, I think maybe probably a 4-2-3-1 just to get us going. I think that might be the best bet that we sort of look at to get us started. So I think it's pretty much really between these two, really. I think Brian Barrows, obviously, with the average of judging current ability and judging player ability, these guys are the this guy is probably the best. He is also wanted by a host of clubs: Boston, Carlisle, Oldham, Wickham, Harrogate Town, Folkestone, Invicta, and Dorking Wanderers are all after him, as you can see. So I think let's try and bring him in as our assistant manager. So we'll approach sign him, assistant manager, part time. So we want to try and tempt him to come in, and we do have a bit of money. So let's try and give him up, get rid of some of this because I don't. It soon adds up. So 10% of 15%, we'll give him 20%. So that's an extra what, £200 if we get promoted. See how he feels about that. He's happy with that. So we'll confirm that, and hopefully he will come in. Obviously, again, lots of other clubs interested in him. So we'll try and get him in. So what else do we need? So what else do we need? So we need. Let's have a look. Assistant manager, the head of youth development, two coaches, and a head performance analysis. So let's concentrate on the coaching staff. I think for the coaches, we'll just look at general coaches. So they can sort of do a little bit of everything. So back to recruitment, staff database. We'll change this down. So from coaching, a coach. You can be employed. I don't mind paying a bit of compensation. Let's see who we can find. So, the first player here is, or the first coach that we have available is Rob Poulter. Good determination, good motivation. Currently the assistant manager at Hallam. Whether or not he'd be willing to come to us, because obviously he's an assistant manager and we're going to actually offer him as a coaching position rather than an assistant manager's position, is another question. average judgment of a player ability and potential ability. Um, so what do you guys think? Should we go ahead and try and maybe bring him? Let's have a look who else we've got. We've got Marvin Williams here. Not very good fitness coach, not good goalkeeping, not good at set pieces. Yeah, not sold on Marvin there. Who else we got here? Mike Jones. Um, yeah, again, doesn't really jump out at me. Oh, Neil Bishop. Let's have a look here. Now, funny story about Neil Bishop. I actually worked with Neil Bishop. He was a colleague of mine in my real life job. I don't do this full time. It's something I would love to be able to do. But yeah, I actually worked with Neil Bishop as as a prison officer. That's what I do. Um, Not suited as a fitness or goalkeeping or set pieces, but he does have outstanding determination, good authority. I could probably second that. Do I bring Neil Bishop in as our one of our coaches just purely because I worked with him? I kind of like the angle of that. It kind of I'm kind of digging that, and you know what? I'm gonna go for it. I like it. I think it's a good angle that I actually used to work with Neil, and it kind of ties into sort of keeping it local. So let's see if we can sign Neil in as our one of our coaches. He wants pretty decent low wages. Let's give him a little pay rise because I'm generous. See if he'll take a 2-year deal. Um, and we'll see what he thinks to that. Yeah, okay. He wants to evaluate, but there we go. Hopefully that's one of our coaches in. Who else have we got here then? Let's have a look at some of these others. We've got a guy called Luke Chambers. He's a free agent. Oh, he doesn't look too bad. Good adaptability, authority, determination. Um, Competent in a judging of the abilities. Um, see what else we've got. Craig Large. Um, not very good at authority. So let's see who else we've got. Jason Newell down here. Hmm, he's not too bad. Ideally, I'd like someone to be. Oh, see if we can change that then, because we've got a good Kieran Lee. Kieran Lee. You know, he's probably the best sort of coach out on the free sort of market, and probably the best coach that we could probably get. So yeah, let's bring Kieran Lee in. Let's see if we can sign Kieran Lee. Coach to sign, coach. Give him a little pay rise. Give him 250, 2 years. See if he's happy for that. Oh, he's quite happy with that. Hopefully he'll come in, and that's hopefully the coaches and assistant manager um sorted out. So let's just see what else we needed staff wise. So we need a director of football, a chief scout, and a scout, I believe. Is it two scouts we can oh, we need a head performance analysis as well, guys. So we'll do that. We'll have a look for a head performance analysis and a head of youth development. So let's get these bits locked down first. So back to the staff database we go. So well, coach. coaching, head performance analysis. Let's see if we can uh, judging potential and is at least average. We want anybody? Nobody. Wow. Okay. Nobody on the performance analysis is at least average. What about competent average? Nobody on there. Okay. Competent. Do we have anybody could plop up there? We've got one, Matty Taylor. Um, okay, let's bring Matty Taylor in. He's probably the leading, is the best candidate out there. So let's see if we can sign Matty Taylor as our head performance analysis. So coaching, head performance analysis. Again, we'll bump his wage up to 250 just to try and get him in. Um, I don't think any other clubs might go for him, but we'll do that, and hopefully he will get that signed in. So here we go. That is our head performance analysis in. Who else have we got then? So what else did we say we needed? Let's have a look. Club staff. That's what we need. So we also need a head of youth development, didn't we? Is what we needed. So we'll just quickly change this down. Coaching, head of youth development. Now, I'm not saying these guys are going to be with us forever. We will look, obviously, as our reputation grows and we move up through the leagues, we'll obviously look at improving these sort of coaches, and hopefully we'll be able to sign better coaches. So let's see what we've got. So okay, so we've got Dan O'Donnell. His preferred job is a technical director. Let's have a look at him. Ooh, not very good at judging staff ability. That's not too bad. Let's have a look at his coaching. Working with youngsters is outstanding, and we do want him to be our head of youth development. So I think that is quite key, really, with regards to this. Um, Big up, Dermo. Thanks very much for joining, mate. Really do appreciate you jumping in here and showing a little bit of love and a little bit of support. And but please like and subscribe or hit the like button yourself, my friend. And hopefully it will help get us out there a little bit more. But thank you very much. Dan O'Donnell is what we're looking at here. He's going to be our head of youth development. I think he's looking pretty good. Um, so head of youth development. Obviously part time. The club is only part time, so he is going to be a part time employment. So, but again, we'll give him a bit of a pay rise just to try and get him in. He's happy with that. Let's hopefully he will come in as well. And we will. He's also wanted by quite a few other clubs, so hopefully that will give us a little bit of a leg up by offering him decent wages to get him in. Like I say, outstanding at working with youngsters, working with youngsters. So that will hopefully help with our youth development. So now we move on, guys, to let's see what we've got now. So we're looking at this recruitment team where we need a director of football, chief scout, and a couple of scouts. I think we can have, yeah. So let's see if we can get these in, and figure out who we're going to try and sign. So these, we really do want them to sort of have good abilities on judging player abilities. So let's have a look. Right, head of youth development, so recruitment team, director of football. Um, ideally, I want it to be at least average. Ideally, but there is nobody with average. Hmm. Okay, so let's have a look at competent on this one. Nope, nobody happy. Nobody wanting to. No competent. Let's look at competent. Oh my word. Right, let's have a look at this. Let's just take these out. Look at director of footballs. See what we've got. Reasonables. Hmm. Reasonables. So unfortunately, we are, like I say, a lower rec team. So this is what we're going to have to contend with. Um, he does want to be a director of football. Trey Elliott. Paul Maitland. He is an actual real player. He's got good authority. Not very determined. Both reasonable at judging staff ability, reasonable negotiation skills. Oh, Andy Stone. Outstanding authority, outstanding adaptability, good authority, very good determination, reasonable, competent at judging staff ability, reasonable negotiation. Well, he might be one to keep an eye on. We might come back to Andy Stone. Nope, not Simon Wilson. Gary Fiore. He still tempted with Andy Stone at the moment. Ooh, Andrew Howard. Adaptability is elite. Authority is good. Not very determined or motivating. Hmm. Let's have a look. Ryan McCoy. Eddie Wordsworth. Dean Goodwin. And we're getting down to sort of the unreasonables here. I think Andy Stone. I think Andy Stone is probably the shout here. Let's bring Andy Stone in as our director of football, or try and bring him in as our director of football. See if we can give him a 2-year contract. Don't really want them just to give them all 1-year contracts. £450 a week. Andy Stone. I wish to evaluate all my options here. I thought you would because there's other clubs interested in you. He said, "Oh no, there isn't anybody else interested in you." So hopefully we can get him in as our director of football. See what else do we need? So we need a chief scout and 2 scouts. So we go to recruitment, scout. See if we can find any scouts here. Okay, so I mean these guys are not going to be the greatest scouts in the world, but we will be getting better scouts obviously as we go. Let's have a look. Edit search. Let's see what we can do. So no competence. Oof, that's a little alarming there. Reasonable competent? We got anybody reasonable competent? Average reasonable. Lloyd Irish as a scout. Let's see what we's like. Oh dear. Um, I mean, these guys are probably the best 3 scouts that we're going to be able to get. So it's just a case of, I think Frankie Paxman may be our chief scout, and bringing Lloyd Irish and Alan Judge as our our 2 scouts that we can get. So let's get that done as we get started. So as a scout, we'll bump his wage up a little bit. 2 years as a scout. Happy days. Let's see if we can get. Oh, actually, Frankie Paxman should have been our. He should have been our ability to. He should have been our chief scout. I made a mistake there. We'll see if we can adjust that in a second. Let's have a look. Oh no, they've not come through yet. Because we haven't, as you can see, guys, I haven't even set up the tactics yet. So let's see if we can get recruitment staff database. So let's have a look at Alan Judge here. Hmm. So one of these is gonna have to be. I don't really want to make Lloyd Irish our chief scout. Because it says there is reasonable, but when you look at his actual knowledge, it says he's unsuited at judging player ability. So let's see if we can make Alan Judge our chief scout then. Well, he's actually a player at the moment. He's a free agent. Is he going to be wanting to? If he's going to want him as a manager or as a? Yeah, you see, if he's non-staff role. He's actually currently a player, so he's quite happy to come in, see what we can get. Coaching, scouting, chief scout. Um, Bump his wage up a little bit. I'm just trying to get them all on roughly the same amount, £250 per week. There we go, and we'll bring him. See if we can bring him in. Lovely stuff. And then let's have a look. Let's see if we can get any. Matthew Doan. He's a physio. He's currently a physio. Why would we want him as a scout? He's currently a scout. Aaron Rose. He's currently a scout. Okay, let's see if we can bring Aaron Rose in as a scout. And this will be our scout. And bring him in. 2-year contract like everybody else, and we'll bring Aaron Rose, sorry, there as well. Right. What else do we need? So we've got the scouts coming in. We've got the scouts coming in. We've got a chief scout coming in. We've got a director of football hopefully coming in. We've got all these guys hopefully coming in. We've got medical team now, so we need a head physio and a physio. So again, we'll get rid of these because they don't really need to be judging the player abilities. Medical team, physio, employed, not if they are employed or not. Let's have a see. Add a condition. Let's have a look. Staff role is Medical is a physio. Right. Let's see what we can find here. I mean, he's reasonable. Let's actually adjust this as well. See if we can add an attribute. Let's take these out. Medical, physio, physiotherapy. Apply these. Edit search. So let's just drop it straight down to average. Any average? Okay, so we've got some. Sam Roblet, average physiotherapy. Stephen Phillips, again, average physiotherapy. Good adaptability, competent. So, wow, lots of people wanting him. Is he currently a player? No, he's definitely just a good physiotherapist from Paul Bradford. Now then, could he become our head physio? Let's have a look. Alison Willits. She's average. Stephen Williams average. Sam Roller is in average as well. So I think Paul Bradford here, he could be our head physio. Um, let's see if we can bring him in. He is currently employed at North Ferriby as a physio, so we will basically be offering him a sort of promotion, so to speak. We'll give him a bumper pay rise again because a 2-year contract. Let's see what we can get. Um, he's very happy with the £250 a week. Absolutely, of course you would be. So let's see, bring him in as our, hopefully bring Paul Bradford in as our head physio. So we've got Alison Willits here. Good adaptability, good authority, good reasonable, competent. I think Alison Willits would be probably the best for our physio, sort of, again, average sort of physiotherapy. So let's see if we can bring Alison Willits in as our physio. We'll give her the same, 250, 2 years, part-time as our physio. She's happy with it. Let's see if we can bring her in. Right, so I believe that is all the staff that we need. Ideally, yep, 2 medical roles we've done. The Yorkshire Warriors, we've done a head physio and a physio. We've got hopefully 2 scouts, a chief scout, director of football, and hopefully we will bring in a new assistant manager. Actually, I don't even know who our assistant manager is right now. So let's have a look. How do I look at our current staff? Um, there he is. Robson Houghton is currently our assistant manager. Plays a 4-3-3 or 4-2 vertical tiki-taki, B license. I mean, he's not bad as a. Can we maybe bring him in as something else? Well, we've already got him, so he's probably not gonna want to take a step down. Let's have a look at who. Um, no, not that one. Transfer window. So no, I always forget where you can find this. So I do apologise. Just bear with me where if we have a look at the shortlists here. Who were we bringing in as our assistant manager? It was Brian. Yeah, he's a bit better, isn't he? He's Brian Burrows. But we were going to bring in as our assistant manager. We'll leave it. We'll leave it. We'll leave it as it is. So so let's move on then, guys. That is the offer him loads of money. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry your back's gone, Dermo. I really hope it feels better for you. So yeah, we've offered him loads of money. Hopefully to get him in and keep everything moving. Um, yes, mate, I will. No worries. I'll take over tonight. Yeah, not a problem. Um, so let's see what we can do in regards to moving this forward a little bit, guys. So welcome to Yorkshire Warriors. Obviously I'm the manager. Northern Film Division. The nickname of the club is the Warriors. Just tell me I've taken the hot seat. Tell us a little bit more about the stadium. 15 season ticket holders, guys. Wow, massive season ticket holders we've got. Hopefully, we'll be able to improve that. So, let's have a look. So, the board just want us to reach for Northern Premier League. I'm happy with that. We'll just accept that down as it is. Um, let's get our tactics set up at the moment. So, let's see what we can do here. So I love a Genga press system personally. And 4-2-3-1 DM wide. I might tweak that a little bit. Um, yeah, so we'll do a 4-2-3-1 DM wide in possession. Um, yeah, 4-2-3-1, and then formation for out of possession. We'll drop back into sort of a 4-1-4-1 sort of formation. So we sort of sit in, become a little bit tighter, a little bit more compactor, but we hopefully make it a little bit harder for us to beat. So as just tweak this out, deep line playmaker. All right. So the deep line playmaker and passing midfield, it sort of does sort of drive me a little bit balmy when it does this. So if I move him up and up, it's very difficult when you've not got players to sort of see where these who's going where. Um, drop him down to there. Um, make him a pressing central midfielder too. Wide midfield forward. I don't want wide midfield forward. What I actually want is a tracking wide midfielder. So I want these guys tracking back. Um, more of a fullback. Centre back. Yeah, fullback in possession. I want these more wing backs. So these guys move forward. When we do sign players that will come in. So I actually want you up there. And when we're in possession there, so how does that look? So it sort of gives us that narrow sort of free there. An inside forward cutting in from the left and an inside forward cutting in from the right to give us the support up front. And I do like a channel forward for the centre forward out of possession. So that's the kind of formation we're looking at in possession, guys, and out of possession we sort of drop back into this 4-1-4-1 with two pressing centre midfielders, two tracking wide midfielders, two holding fullbacks, and two centre backs. Now I am going to upload into this for players that we sort of bring in the other formation that I have. So if I load a tactic and I called it the 3-2-1-3-1 Dominator because I use it in a personal save that I play, and it kind of looks like this. Um, in possession is like that. Out of possession, we drop into this. But it just sort of overruns with the overlapping centre backs, centre back, wing backs, winger, and inside ball attacking midfielders. I'm just going to leave it sat there. So players that we bring in will be able to learn that tactic and get to know that tactic and become better and get familiarity with it. But this I think will be the main tactic here. I might move him over a little bit so we don't. What's that look like? No, no. I think I think that is probably better. Um, yeah. So I'm gonna leave it on a balanced mentality. Um, I think balanced mentality is very overpowered in this year's iteration of Football Manager 2026, and I think it's better than attacking because I think it seemed to put it as the players become attacking, then they just sort of go gung ho. But what we will do is we'll set up our team instructions. I like the I like to sort of use the width of the pitch. Um, maybe not much wider, maybe just wider. Um, Passing director, shorter passing. Um, Counter attack on the create feedback balance. No, not trying to play for set pieces, not trying to time waste. Um, and I think that is probably the best way for us to set up here. Then we go to our now then let's have a look. Final third. I like discourage shots from distance because we're probably not gonna get that. Um, Low crosses into the box. Balanced dribbling as we get through progression. So supporting runs, I like both wings, both flanks to support. Um, Again, progressing down both flanks, balanced pass reception as we go through that. Um, Goalkeeper distribution to the wing backs. Um, there, speed up the goalkeeper distribution and shorter goal kicks. Basically, it's all about keeping the team keeping hold of the ball. Um, Out of possession. Let's have a look. See. So I like a high press. Not. I don't want to go too gung ho where it's a much higher line of engagement. Just a high line of engagement, but we're going to sort of balance defensive line, trigger a press much more often, counter press, standard tackling. Now I do like to get this change to get stuck in. Sort of gives the team the ability to sort of really challenge, um, prevent short goalkeeper distribution. I think balance pressing trap. Mid block is again keep it balanced. Low block. We'll keep that one exactly the same, and that is how we are going to set up the team there. Well, we only have one thing, so there we go. We'll just do skip through this, and that introduction. Squad introduction. I'm going to decline the squad introduction because the players that there are not going to be around. So I suppose now we need to look for some players. Um, so we're going to need at least a couple of goalkeepers. I would like to try and bring in at least two for every position. So we'll go to player databases and see how we can stack up because and ideally look if we can bring in some experienced heads but are gonna basically be able to still play at this league. Great, but ideally, I'd like to bring in some youngsters as well with regards to this. So let's see if we can bring it. Let's change this to doubtful because I think we'll be able to maybe persuade people because of the ability of the wages that we're gonna have. So what we need first, let's start from the beginning. Um, Goalkeeper. Natural at goalkeeper, and let's see who we can bring in. Obviously, we've got no scouts, so we're going to look at this. I haven't got player attribute masking on, so we can sort of see these players um, and see what they're about. I think it kind of gives us a little bit of an advantage, but with player attribute masking on, we would have to try to move through quite early on quickly to get the scouts in. Then we're going to have to scout players, and I think the start of the season would be upon us before we'd even be able to bring these players in. So I think having the player attribute masking off is just gives us a little bit of helps us per se sort of progress a little bit. Um, so um, day of leave, not look too bad. Currently playing for Alchurch, 30 years old. Who we got here? We've got Jonathan Mitchell. I think what we should do is let's just add some conditions here, or add attributes, handling. I mean, is it too out of the realms of possibility that we'd want 13 handling? Oh, we've got a few. We've got a few who might be interested. Taylor Ross, let's have a look at him. 6 foot, um, good aerial reach, good communication, good handling. Um, I mean, he doesn't look too bad. Alex Walpole, 18 years old, 6'2". Again, decent aerial reach, good reflexes and rushing out tendency, good decision making, good bravery for this level, good agility, good jumping reach, decent natural fitness. Not very strong though. But he's only 18, so that could develop. Alex Walpole, we'll keep an eye on it. We'll have a look at some of the others. Lewis Finney, 5'10". He's not massive, so I'm kind of puts me off. I'd like a big goalkeeper. Do you know what I mean? Um, Tyler McGregor, 6'3", good jumping reach, good handling. Hmm. I'm leaning towards Alex Walpole so far as our number one. Now then, Tommy Davis is quite good as well. 19-year-old, free agent, no club. Um, Currently wanted by Cleethorpes Town, who are in our division. Um, Good reflexes, good rushing out, great natural fitness, good leadership, good decision making skills. His aerial reach isn't great, but he's got good jumping reach, which is kind of a mismatch, really, isn't it? It doesn't really make much sense. Um, so yeah, Tommy Davis, he looks quite good, and he's young, so we can sort of bring him with us a little bit along this journey. Luke Taylor, no, Luke Taylor doesn't spring out to me, and Ollie Walker, um, he's only 5'10". He's only 20. So I suppose we could probably try and sign Tammy Davis and Alex Walpole. It's who becomes our number one. I'd love to get your guys' opinion on this. Who would you like as the number one? Tommy Davis or Alex Walpole? Um, what you would think as our number one? I'm probably leaning a little bit more towards Tommy Davis. Um, just basically because his oh, there we go. His kicking his agility. It's just his natural fitness a little bit better. His jumping reach, his leadership probably would is the reason why I'm sort of leaning more towards Tommy. But let's see if we can get some bids in for these two um players. Um 12 to 35k, it's going to be a big chunk out of our transfer budget. A few players clubs want him on loan. I mean, do we try to bring him on loan? But they're probably going to want him to be first choice, and I'm probably thinking that other. Let's see if we can. Let's see what. Let's actually. It doesn't have a agent, so I can't actually speak to an agent regarding what what we could probably maybe try and get him from. Um, let's have a look. So I'm thinking if we offer Huddersfield 7,500 up front with 10% profit of next sale, make that semi-negotiable. Additional fees, um, one installment in 6 months. As do you think? Maybe 12k over a year. Two installments at 6k. That makes it what 19,000. And if we add after league appearances, we say 10 games, we'll give you an extra 5k on 10 games, and 5 games will give you an extra 2,500. So that's 27,000 in total. 16k out of the immediate transfer budget, which isn't too bad. Um, let's see what Huddersfield think. Huddersfield like it. Might be overpaying a little bit. But let's get that done. We'll make that offer. Um, so that's that offered in, and let's have a look at Tommy Davies here. No club, so he is a free agent. Like I say, he's wanted by Cleethorpes Town. I just think he's a better goalkeeper. So again, doesn't have an agent, so we can't speak to him. And he wants to be first choice goalkeeper, and I'm actually um I'm behind that. He wants us to improve first team coaching. Yeah, well, that's going to happen anyway because we haven't got anybody. Um, can we give him 2 years? 2 years at 250. Get a little bump up on his appearance fee, so I like that. I like that. Um, let's see. Yeah, £250 is okay. I think that's we'll get him in. Hopefully we can sign him as our new number one. Um, right, so that's the goalkeepers taken care of, and we'll have a look. Hopefully we'll be able to get them done. Those deals done. So now let's look at wing backs. Um, we don't need handling anymore. Um, So highlight key roles. I like using this. So by the way, guys, it kind of gives you an idea of where what you're looking at. So it sort of says here, but we're lower league, so we're not gonna need all these on because you're never gonna get somebody through all these. So what I tend to think of really that I want in my wing backs is I want someone that's got a bit of stamina and a bit of pace. I also want somebody who can tackle, but I also want crossing as well, and I want the passing to be decent. So, will we get anybody? I don't know. Is at least a 10? Let's have a look. No, I didn't think we would. Maybe better when let's just take some of these out. Take the stamina out, keep the pace in, keep the tackling in, take the passing out. Leave a crossing in. See if we get anybody pop up here. We go. We've got 4 players that we've got that are interested in us. Um, let's have a look. See. So we've got Harvey Scott. He's a left-sided wing back. 5'10". Good decisions. Good determination. Um, let's have a look. George Smith. He's 28. Joshua Bailey, 19. Corey Sears is 18. He's only 5'6", though. I didn't mind somebody a bit taller. Good pace, 5'10" on Harvey Scott. Good decisions. Um, Josh Bailey, good crossing. I'm kind of thinking Harvey Scott and Josh Bailey. Although Scorsese does have good determination, good teamwork. Hmm, I don't know on this, guys. I really don't know. Josh Bailey's only 5'10". Corey Sears 5'6". Right, I think what we'll do is we'll go with Josh Bailey for a start. Um, I'm going to leave these in. I'm going to change this down to being a squad player because I don't want to promise anybody being regular starters and things like that to begin with. It says we'll look to improve strength and gain promotion. Players are going to come in. They're going to ask for things like this because, wow, he wants big wages. Hmm, big wages. Right, let's take this out. Um, maybe 30 games. Um, lower this down. Maybe take that to 500, but we'll give you more in your appearance fee, bit more in your clean sheet bonus, bit more in it's an unused sub bonus, a little bit more in your loyalty bonus. See what he thinks to that. Yeah, he's happy with that. He's happy with that. I'm not. I'm quite happy with that sort. It's still big, but we've got the money, and we should hopefully be all right with the money that we've got. Um, so that is one left back or left wing back, and Harvey Scott was the other guy, wasn't it? Was it Harvey Scott? Yes, it was Harvey Scott. Um, both sort of the same sort of height. Very similar in player, really. It's going to be interesting to see which one actually becomes uh, our starter. Um, he just wants to be a future prospect, so I'm happy with that. We might mean we can get him on cheaper wages, part-time contract. Let's see. We take £100, 2 years. Ah, excellent. That's a decent deal. Harvey Scott, £100 a week. We'll bring him in. Part-time contract. So that will hopefully be the left side, left wing back sort of side taken care of. So we'll switch sides. We'll take the left wing back out. And wing back right is a natural. Let's have a look. Okay, so we've only got one coming up on that sort of spec. Um, let me just bring that down to a 10. That gives us 3. So we've got Reece Evans, again 28 years old. Good determination, 5'10", natural fitness, pace of 10. Hmm, Alessandro, sorry, I'll click on this guy. Let's have a look at him here. Decent tackling, decent crossing, very poor dribbling now. You're going to need to be able to dribble something. Good determination, decision making, but his agility and his pace are good, but his driven personality, which is good, but his dribbling is just absolutely shocking. And I want him to be able to dribble down that wing. So let's have a look here. Elliot Hartman from Mansfield. Again, dribbling of almost 6. He is only a youngster. 5'9". Okay. Reece Evans. Okay, let's just bring pace down a little bit. See if we get any more. Dan Corson's. He's got a little bit. He's dribbling still again. Not great. See if we can. Let's have a look. Take the pace out. We'll add an attribute. We'll add. Where is it? Mental decisions. See if we can bring anybody in. So we've got Joshua Taroni. That actually opens him up. Let's have a look at him. Pace is 17, dribbling 10, tackling 10 and 11. Work rate 10, determination. He's not bad actually. 6'1", 30 to 90,000. That's a big chunk of change out of our budget. Who wants him? So look at who wants him. Wanted by 36 clubs. A lot of people wanting him on loan. Rumoured interest. I'm wondering if we can sort of maybe try and get him on the cheap. 10,000 maybe, with another 10,000 in installments over, with 15% maybe over a course of if we sell him on. What did Burton think to that? Okay, so they want 25% locked in. I'll offer them 20%. I want in 18,000. Let's see if we can bring that down a little bit to 15,000, and that's 35,000. Hmm, what's that looking like? Burton are happy with that. Burton are happy with that. Okay, let's make the offer. We need the players in. We're going to have to bring these players in, and I do think he is going to be absolutely phenomenal for this level that we are going to be in. So we'll hopefully bring in Josh Taroni. Um, that's Noel McGinn, 6'4". No, not fancying Noel McGinn. I keep coming back to Trapass. I keep thinking about Trapass. Yes, he's 5'10", but he'd be a good backup. Um, let's see what he actually wants. Future prospect again, so it would probably be the backup. Part-time contract. Get him nice and cheap. £60 per week. Give you a £100 loyalty bonus. 2-year contract. How does that sound? Yeah, there we go. Nice and cheap. So we're paying a little bit more on one, but saving on the other. That's the way I'm looking at it. So as now we're going to have to move on to hopefully our centre backs. So I think maybe trying to bring 3 or 4 centre backs in. It'll probably be the best way. We're going to be playing with 2. We don't need crossing. Tackling and decisions, I think, is key for this one. Um, right, so it's quite a lot. That's brought up quite a lot. So let's see if we can narrow this down a little bit. 13 for tackling. Is it out of the realms for 14? Brings 2 up for 14. Lewis Green, 25-year-old, plays for Bedford, fringe player, or Bedford Town, say, is listed surplus to requirements. So that means we might be able to get this down 6'3", which is absolutely massive. Not bad natural fitness, decent pace, good jumping reach, good heading abilities, good tackling abilities, good leadership, good positioning. I tell you what, he doesn't look bad at all. He does not look bad at all. I quite like the look of him. Let's see what we can do with this guy. Lewis Green, make an offer. Um, he is listed, so we might be able to get this down a little bit. If we offer them 3,500 with 5% of next sale, lock that in. Don't really want to offer them anymore. What do we think to that? 4.9. Would you take 4? They'll take 4, which I don't think is too bad. 4,000. I think he's going to be quality for us in this. Um, if we can sign him, there are 4 interested clubs in him. What's Northern Premier? So, but players, clubs in that thingy, but they're saying that they're not first choice, so we're going to basically make him our first choice and really sort of push on him. So yeah, I quite like Lewis Green, like the look of him. And Ryan Wilson, let's have a look at Ryan Wilson here. Again, 6'3", big, aggressive, um, not as fast, but or agile, but good tackler. Real no nonsense sort of centre back. I quite like him as well. Let's see if we can bring him in. 3A. Who else wants him? Barwell and Real Bedford want him. Where do they play? Southern Premier League Central, and so that's sort of the same level as us, but it's just the Southern version rather than where the Northern version. Um, and they're not making them first choice. Um, hmm, let's just have a look. What happens if we bring that tackling down to 13? Just open up a few more for us. Let's have a look. Ellis Bates. I'm looking at the people who are actually got contracts right now. Big up Kuba, thank you very much. Kuba, obviously you are you're not too late to be a regen. Every team needs a Kuba at defensive right back, wing back, midfield right, second midfield right. Look, Kuba, if you see a player that you're interested in and you want me as to do a rename, I will gladly do it for you, my friend. Um, if you see a player, let me know in the chat. I will gladly pick it up and we'll once we sign him. Obviously, this is we haven't signed anybody up that. I'm not sure we've got anybody who you might want yet. I'll let you have a look. I don't think we've got a regen coming in on the right back or wing back, but if we see anybody and you fancy that, I can bring him in. Um, and we'll sort it out for you. But thanks very much. Thanks very much for sharing it, Dermo. So, as THFC Till We Die members, you are entitled to a regen rename or a new gen rename, and I will change literally. I suppose the easiest way to bring it is to show you. If I click on, say, Mason Fleming, say he was my player. I click down on actions, Mason Fleming, and I can actually, where is it? Miscellaneous, set nickname, take his name out, put that down, and then we can sort of change it. So the name is there. For instance, if we wanted to keep his same name, first name, but we wanted to call him Mason. Oh God, let's just call him Mason Magnetic, for instance. So we click that, confirm that. That process, I mean, his name changes, but it's only a nickname. Um, but we're not editing anything, we're not changing anything, and that would become his name. So there you go. We've actually put one. No, we're not having someone called Maradona. Uh, although Maradona is English as well for one. So, but if you wanted, you obviously you could actually choose one as well. And it's how it shows up now. Look, Magnetic is how he is. So I'll just what you've missed, Coover, is we've done some staffing. We've brought some staff in, trying to get some staff in through the door. Um, we're just trying to build up some defenders, and then we'll move on to the midfield and attackers. Hopefully, get a little bit of time move forward. I mean, we've been running for about an hour and 25 minutes now. I haven't even clicked continue once. But let's moving on now. Central defenders. Ryan Wilson, he was one that we were looking at already. Reward Mwakona, um, Zimbabwean, um, central defender, 6'2", good jumping reach, decent natural fitness, heading, tackling, um, good anticipation, decent decision making. I think it could be half decent. See what else we've got here. Franklin and Zet. Ooh, Franklin and Zet. Good natural fitness, 6'2" again. Good aggression. Wow, this kid could be something special for us. Good decisions. Determined. I like the look of this guy. Good leadership, positioning, good tackling and marking, good heading abilities. I'm not even gonna second out on this guy. I'm gonna make an approach for this guy straight away. He only wants to be a fringe player. That's fine. I've got no issue with that because he'll probably be more like a first teamer. See if we can get him on a 2-year deal, 300. Bit more on your appearance fee. In fact, if I can bring that down to 250, but give you more on your appearance, more on your clean. Any right-sided player with reasonable pace, tackling, aggression, and crossing was my style when I played. Not expected to find anyone that does all of that well with these humble beginnings. Yeah, well, I mean, I'll show you. We've looked at Cuba. I think we've actually got a regen in there in the defensive right. See what he thinks of that deal. Oh, he likes that. Finalise that deal in. Let's have a look. Let's show you who I've gone for. See if any of nope, not transfer room in transfer activity. Um, in fact, actually, the best thing to do would be go to shortlist. So let's see, defensive wing back right. Oh no, I think these actually were they were actually genuine players. I think right sided. Joshua Taroni, I think they were both genuine players. Who I do apologise. We'll keep his eye out, and you can always keep it in the bank. You don't have to use it straight away. Um, we can always, you can always pick it up when we get our first youth intake, which will be a bit later on. And if you're still interested there, you can do that as well. But these are the sort of players who we've looked at so far, in case you missed them. So Josh Taroni, we're trying to sign from Burton. Alex Walpole as a goalkeeper. Joshua Bailey as a left wing back. Frankie and Z, we've just sort of looked at. Lewis Green, he's going to be another centre back. Tommy Davis, I think he's going to be our number one. Harvey Scott, left wing back, and Traposa as well, another left wing back. I think is pretty decent as well. So that's who we've looked at so far. Just go back to sort of central defenders, as we've got the more central defenders needed. Taylor Parbury Town. Doesn't scream at me. Toby Oaks. Toby Oaks looking like quite decent. 6'3", good jumping reach. How can somebody with 14 jumping reach be so poor at heading? I mean, he's 6'3". He's just going to stand there and let the ball. What does he do? Just stand there and let the ball hit him on the head. That's how terrible he is. Good marking, good tackling, no, decent decision making, decent determination, and decent leadership for this level. And he's only 19. So he could be one, but we look at, let's see who else we've got here. We've looked at Lewis Green. In fact, we've got a bid in for Lewis Green, I think. Adam Murray, 36, 6'4". Could be good to have old heading, maybe. Oh, we've got Mason Magnetic, and Ellis Bates, and Niall Timpson, 19-year-old, good jumping reach, decent heading, 6'4". Let's have a look. I quite like the look of Niall McGoldrick. I quite like the look of Ryan Wilson. And I quite like the look of Reward Mukwana. Mukwana for Zimbabwean. I'm a bit concerned about him maybe picking up not being able to get a work permit though. Right, so let's throw a bid in for um he only wants to be emergency backup, so that's absolutely fine. We'll take that. Part time, £170 a week. If we bump that up to 2 years, will you take a 2-year contract? He will. That's that one done. I mean, he's pretty much going to be a backup. I also like the look of this guy as well, but his heading isn't great. I mean, we can always throw a bid in from the corner, see what happens. I'm going to make him a squad player. That might help with his sort trying to get his work permit. We'll bring him in. And who else did we say? Was it Ellis Bates? No, weren't Ellis. It's another one that we looked at, and I thought he was really good. Oh, it was Frankie and Z, but we've already put. Did we put a? Yeah, we've already put a bid in for him. Um, Toby Oaks. Yeah, Toby Oaks, and we'll put a bid in for Toby Oaks as well. I think he looks pretty good as well. Breakthrough prospect. Bringing him in. Negotiate the contract. We'll give him his part-time contract. Get him pretty cheap. 60. In fact, we'll give him £75 per week with £100 loyalty bonus. 2 years. Are you happy? Yes, you are. Let's bring him in. We're starting in the seventh tier, Cuba. My apologies, just seeing that come through. The seventh tier. So that is below the Enterprise North and South. Two below the Conference League, basically. So the seventh tier of English football is where we are going to be starting. So these players that we are looking at, they're probably going to be pretty decent for us. Um, right. So moving on um, to what we need. So obviously, don't want the instructions on. That's that. Um, team shape. So we're going to need a couple of DMs, couple of central midfielders, attacking midfielders. So this is a formation we're sort of looking at Vancouver, in case you didn't see it. Um, and oh, I forgot to show you as well, by the way, guys. This is and because you're in now as well, Vancouver, I'll show you the kits um, of the club. Let's call it club site. Yeah, there we go. Here's the kits. I've tried to keep them very sort of similar, tying up. Um, and so here's our kit, black home kit with sort of red and yellow diagonal stripes. Um, Yellow away kit with the red and black coming down, and red third kit with sort of yellow and black motifs on there as well, which I do love. Design them myself. The name of the stadium, Valhalla. I mean, if you know any sort of players, cool, by all means, throw a suggestion in. We can have a look at them. Um, I do know I know a couple. I don't know if he'll come to us, and that is Brooke Myers. I've used in lower league saves before, but I don't know if he will come to us. He is a free agent. He looks. Let's. I mean, he is wanted. I mean, but these are teams that are in sort of um in our sort of area. So I'm gonna have a see if we can try and sign Brooke Myers. Not currently interested in him. Yeah, of course not. Didn't think you would do. Um, which is a shame. Uh, which is a shame because he's a decent player. See, if there's also another guy who I know, Ronaldo Flowers. He's not in the game. I don't think. Let's have a look. Ronaldo Flowers. Nope, he's not in my game this time. Um, yeah, it does. It does randomize lower leagues. You can sort of find certain players that are quite quite regular in the game, but it does randomize quite a lot with sort of lower leagues. I have got the database quite big, well as big as I can, um, for the capability of my computer and that. So um, let's have a look, and so we'll go back. Because we said a couple of a DM, so a couple of DMs, a couple of central midfielders, and a couple of attacking midfielders. So is what we're looking at next. So if I go to take the defensive midfielder out, I mean central defender out, and we want DM. I mean, again, still want someone decent with tackling. I don't know if we'll pick anybody up with. Oh, we have. Um, let's have a look. Search. Add condition. No, not add condition. Add attribute. Highlight key role. Defensive roles. Let's have a look. Midfield roles. Defensive midfielder. Not so worried about that. Not so worried about some of these. Stamina and strength. I think we should. The strength. I think we should try and keep on. But we'll positioning. I definitely think is key. Concentration, aggression, tackling. we'll take out marking, and we'll bring that down to sort of 12. See if that throws up anybody. It doesn't. So um, again, probably asking a little bit more. Yeah, we've sort of goalkeepers. I'll show you the goalkeepers that we've looked at. Cougar before. Um, Two youngsters actually. If I go to my shortlists again, um, so the goalkeepers that we're looking at here is we're looking at trying to bring Alex Walpole from Huddersfield Town under 21s. I think he's good. He's pretty decent. Which I think again, decent handling, jumping reach is good, decent reflex and rushing out tendencies. So he's pretty good. And the other goalkeeper that we are looking at is Tommy Davis. He's a free agent. Again, great handling, good kicking, good agility, good jumping reach, 6'2", good reflexes and rushing out tendencies, low eccentricity, which yeah, proper building from the back. I think it's the best way to do it. Again, 19 years old. I'm liking the look of him as well, and that's who we've sort of thrown as bids in on as goalkeepers at the moment. So let's go. Thanks very much, mate. I'm glad you like them. Um, yeah, I quite like them. I quite like them as goalkeepers. So back to the database. Well, I did that search. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can just get some of this. If we can get some players actually flagging up for us. Take that out. Anybody coming up on that? No. Um, Take the passing out then. What about that? Okay. So we've got three. So, well, it's actually these guys are coming up as central defenders. He can play as a DM. Um, Not great at it, but he could play there, could do sort of a job there. But do we think about bringing him as a central defender? And he's two-star defensive midfielder, but we could bring him in as a central defender. Hmm. Let's have a see who else we've got. We've also got Edward um, Gwimify. He is, where's he from? He's German. Okay, he's a German player. I don't know. I tell you what, I quite like him. Good tackling, good marking. Um, Concentration could be better, but he is only 21. That could develop. Um, Decision making isn't great, but good leadership, good positioning, decent pace. Um, I've been playing Football Manager since before it became Football Manager Cougar. So I've been playing since it was Champ Manager. I think the first time I played it was Championship Manager 94, 95, or 93, 94 was probably the first one. Yeah, I'm quite liking him as a DM. I think we'll Bedford Town 500 to 7,000. We've got plenty of money. It doesn't have an agent, so see if we throw a grand at them. Um, we'll see what they come back with. He is listed for loan, but I think he could be a good acquisition. So we'll throw a bid on him. Um, Elliot Owen, well, he looks pretty decent as well. Good tackling again, good marking, good heading. Again, could be a good pickup on as a central defender. Great jumping reach. So, you know what? He could be actually a decent bid for central defensive as well because he can't play DM. But I'm gonna throw a bid on this player. Um, let's have a look. Give 2,500. I want 9.5 with 40% sell on. Wow. Okay, let's bring that down. Maybe 7.5. We'll take that. Probably could have got it down a bit more, to be fair. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll make that offer. Let's see what we can do here. It's because we've still got central defensive highlighted. No, won't DM. Don't want that. Okay, who we've got here? We've got 33-year-old Spanish defensive midfielder, Alfonso Castellano. I mean, he's not very good, is he really? He's not very good. And yeah, he's come back up as well as. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we just take put it as not an tackling. See what we get come up here. Callum Nicholson, Real Bedford. I tell you what, he's pretty decent as well. Good jumping reach, great natural fitness, good pace, good agility, good aggression, good decision making, good determination. Kind of switches off. So if a bird flies overhead, he kind of gets distracted by it. I'll keep an eye on him. He could be an option. Um, Ryan Wilson. Now that name rings a bell. Have we made I think we made a bid on Ryan Wilson. Yeah, we did make a bid on Ryan Wilson as a central defender. But does Ryan Wilson, because we've looked at that other defender, do we then use Ryan Wilson as a defensive midfielder and bring him that other player as the central defender? Um, yeah, let's see what else we've got because obviously we're going to need a bit of depth in the squad. Jama Mohammed, no, not Alfie Lussie. No, he's just not doing it for me. Um, Taylor Harrod. Yeah, again, it's just not doing it for me. Um, I think Callum Nicholson's the way forward. Put a bid in on this guy. Doesn't have an agent, so we can't. Right, so if we offer 10% profit of next sale, make that non-negotiable and see if we can bring this down to sort of 8,000 or 13.5. Will you take 12? We'll take 12. Okay, we'll put that bid in. That's another one, hopefully through the door. I think he's got the ability to um, sort of play in either of those positions, which we are going to be playing. So let's have a look now at play database. I don't know why I clicked on that. Let's look at just some midfielders. And I think add attribute passing is probably going to be the key one here. We're going to need someone who's great at passing. See if we can bring no nobody with 15, 14 passing. Right. Okay. Let's see what we've got here. We've got a few from Evesham. Um, Again, Brandon Liggett, 19 years old. Let's have a look at him. Start from the bottom. Currently on £50 a week, 6'1", good jumping reach, good natural fitness, good pace and acceleration, good decision making, good passing, good long shots, good tackling, good work rate. Yeah, I always look at determination, fitness for outfield players too, Cougar. They've got other decent physicals too, Ben Fly. Yeah, I mean he looks pretty decent physicals for me, for his level. Not great, not brilliant in his strength and stamina. So could be sort of weak on that, but he is only 19, so he's got the ability to develop. Um, Two-star central midfielder. Um, Sort of got it where it counts, I would say. Got it where it counts. 6'1". Um, so we'll have a look. We'll keep him on the back burn for now as we look at the others. Tom Haig. Um, Again, good passing, tackling technique. Not as fast as Brandon, but good decisions and determination. Good teamwork and work rate. Just can't see anybody 29 years old, so probably not going to get the development out of Tom. Then we've got Mason Everton. Mm, got good pace, good acceleration, good jumping reach. Um, Decent determination, decent work rate, good passing, decent first touch and technique. Yeah, not too bad. Um, Lewis Middleton, not as good. Not as good physicals, really, for Lewis. And who we got here? Lennon Dobson. He's got okay physicals, probably decent backup. Who wants him? Want to buy quite a few on loan. So I think probably the standout for me is Brandon Liggett. I think we certainly make a bid for Brandon. Um, See if we can get him on round about 2,500. Yeah, happy with that. Um, Nice. Bring back guy. I think Tom Haig is a good option, sort of as a backup. Says he's quite wants to be emergency backup. That's fine. £130 a week, absolutely fine. 2 years. See, will you take that? Yes, he will. Excellent. We'll bring him in. Um, and probably looking at one more. I kind of like Lennon Dobson as well. Big transfer fee though. Will it? I don't think he'll come down to us with looking at some of the clubs that are interested in loans. Do we break? Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Bradley, it could be a star. Um, Bruno Giorno signing. Yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Do we try and get this guy in on a loan? Because I don't want to break the bank on this unless we can get him. Let's see what we can do. If we can sort of say we give you 20 grand up front, maybe 20 grand over two installments, so that makes it 10 grand each, and we'll give you sort of 15% of next sale. See what they think of that. Oh, we're quite happy with that. That's not bad, that. I quite like that. I quite like that. I mean, that's 40,000. You're valued at up to 100k. I think that's a decent deal. I'm going to make that offer. Oh, I hate it when it does that. Don't understand why it does that. Um, Two installments, 20k, percentage of profit from next sale, 15%, stress terms. Now we don't like it. Absolutely ridiculous. Um, liked it one bit, now we don't. Now I've got to tweak it a bit. So I'll make it. I'll increase it to 45. It drives me balmy. It's such a bug in the game um that you make an offer, you go look back at him just to make sure he is the kind of player that you want. I mean, when you go back to the negotiation screen, everything's gone. And they don't like the original deal that you've proposed and that was happy to accept. Um, so, oh, I've just clicked continue. Um, Jesus. Well, we'll work through those in a minute. Play database. Um, two midfielders coming in, defensive midfielders. So let's look at our left wing position now. Um, again, I want them to be able to pass, and I wouldn't mind them decent on shooting, but they're not going to have anybody at 14 and passing at this level. Okay, here we go. Harrison Fleury, good crossing, good dribbling. Can play sort of cross for three, 6 foot, good natural fitness, good acceleration, good pace, good flair. Mentals are a bit lacking elsewhere. And mm, let's see what else we've got. James Sanderson at Notts County. Um, not too bad physicals. Um, decent technicals, decent finishing, decent passing and technique, good work rate. Again, can play across that front three. Notts County under 21s. Once between, if we can get him round about 6,000, I'd quite happily take it. I mean, he's such a goofy looking kid as well. Um, let's see, see if we can get. We'll throw 4.5 at them. Wow, they're wanting massive money now. He's not worth that much. I mean, he's decent, but he's not worth that much. I mean, who wants him? 24 clubs want him. Um, yeah, I mean, a lot of clubs want him on loan, but um, oh, no, I didn't really mean to do that. Let's bring that down to one more. Samuel Okoku. See, that's not too bad. That's decent. Decent dribbling, passing, technique's good. Decent physicals, decent mentals as well. More of a right-sided rather than a left-sided, but could probably play on that left side and cut in. Free agent. Let's try and bring him in. Quite like the look of him. Only wants breakthrough prospect. Quite happy with that. Give him a part-time contract. Give him £75 a week. Give him a £100 loyalty bonus. Give him 150. I don't want to go back. And suggest that. Are you happy? Yes, he is. We'll do that. That's quite decent. Um, let's see who else we got. Chris Late. He's 32. Um, no, doesn't do it for me. If you guys see anybody in the chat, if you see any player, by all means, jump in there and tell me, oh, he looks decent, or I'd sign him. Because this is going to be as much about you guys as it is me. Um, Now, he's not bad, but he's 5'5". He's tiny. I think we need to stretch him if we were going to sign him. Let's have a look. Ephraim. Daniel Ephraim. Not bad, but some certainly lacking as a winger. I wouldn't really sort of deploy him as a winger. He doesn't have that sort of ability to play out there. Um, Josh Flemings from Port Vale. Again, 40,000. This is going to be another guy who like Jamie Sanson. I'll tell you what we'll do is let's just um oh, my apologies guys. I think my stream just cancelled out. Oh my god, it's just crashed. The game just crashed. Unbelievable. All that work, 3 hours of doing work, and it's just crashed. And I didn't save it. Oh my god. I'm so sorry, guys. Um, look, um, what I'm going to do is what I'll do. I will. I'll leave it there. I'll end the stream. I will go back through. I'll look at the stream for the actual stream. Find the players. Find the coaches and everybody. I will re-catch us up to where we were, and then hopefully at some point midweek we'll be able to pick it up um, from where we were. Many apologies about that, guys. It's not how I really wanted the stream to end, and it's just one of those things. FM26 and its bugs. I didn't even really do much, but yeah. So thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Again, many apologies. We'll certainly sort it out and come back stream two, finish off the transfers, and hopefully get the season underway. Pick up some friendlies, but for now, thank you very much for tuning in, and really do appreciate it. Please hit the like, please hit the subscribe, please hit the share button. If anybody you like, but plays FM, it's very much greatly appreciated. And until next time, for me, James, thanks very much, and hopefully we'll get it all back to where we were.